cutting losses. It's the number one rule. It's the number one rule. We have gotten too lazy lately. I'd say we got content with what we've been doing, and we just let things go recently. That is not cool. We can't let these big losses happen because we can definitely do a lot better. Our profit can be a lot more if we can just minimize the losses. I mean, we can have losses. That's fine. But it's all about keeping them small. So being okay with losing 5% or 4% or 3% and not beating yourself up about the losses is very, very important. That's for us personally. I'm not really saying like risk $500, but 5%, 4%, 3% is what you should be losing. 10% is too big, and 100% is way too big because that's everything. 10% is too big. And then these other stocks that we're in right now, we're back down. CLLXF, we're only down about 5%, so that's not the end of the world. But GWSO, we let it kind of go on us, and now we're down 14% in the stock. So that's not cool. And that all has to do with this right here, this motto. Don't get lazy. It's every single day you have to wake up ready to grind, and you have to be on your toes. There can never be a day where you're kind of just like, oh, I'm just going to do this. I'm just going to do this. And it'll just go against you. And the day that you feel comfortable and content, you're going to end up pulling something that's going to piss you off so much and probably change your game drastically. So that's why it's just so important to not get lazy, because down the road, it can affect you in the big, big scheme of things. It really affects your brain, and it affects your kind of your process and your sniper journey. So then the next trade that you're looking at, you're gonna have a skewed view at it, where you're gonna kind of say, oh damn, I don't know if I should buy this because I lost so big on that last trade. And we don't want you to have that. You want to just keep firing, keep shooting, keep staying consistent. So yeah, don't be lazy there, guys. Number 2, don't get greedy. This is something, I mean, everybody could get greedy, but 2 things that we really do emphasize and teach as a stock sniper is selling on the upside and the downside. The downside is important because you're cutting your losses and you're able to make them small, and you're not losing $2,000 in 2 stocks. You know, that's horrible. But on the upside, it's almost even as important, because if you never take your profit and you just are greedy and you want the stock to continue to go up, it can come back down and continue to drop, and now you're always going to want that one spot back that you were just at. For example, with Shopify, when it went up to $145, when we had it at $1, we saw we were up $4.50, and that made us feel very comfortable. Then when it started to fall and we were broke even, when we were just even on the stock, we still didn't lose any money, but in our head, we were saying we want that $4.50 back. We just had it, and we can get it back. And the stock just continued to go down. So we just held in hope, hoping to get that $4.50 back that we saw earlier. And that was just all about being greedy. If we weren't greedy in the first place and we just took $400, you didn't even have to take all $4.50. We would have been nice with the win, and that would have changed this $1,000 win to a $400 or $1,000 loss to a $400 win. So that's a $1,400 swing there for our account. That's really, really big there. So not being greedy is the number 2 thing. And then the number 3 thing is just making sure you get out when you set your plan. When you got to get into a stock, you should have a support level that you want to cut that's about 5% to 7% away from your cut spot. And that's when you should get out. If it goes below that cut spot and you are not out, you are playing with full emotions now. And playing with emotions could get very, very dangerous. The stocks could easily drop out on you and continue to fall really far if you don't cut your losses. So make sure to get the hell out when things are not going your way. And a great example of that is CLLXF and GWSO. So if I show you guys them right now, I'll explain to you what we're talking about. But hold on one second. Before I go over that, CEI is a good example of cutting losses. And we got in at 40 cents, which wasn't the worst entry. It was pretty high. But 38 was our cut. And if we got out at 38, we're only losing about $600. Instead, we get out at 365 and we lose more than $1,000. So that's kind of what I want to point out. It's a $500 swing for our account. So if we did everything the right way, didn't be greedy here, cut our losses here, we would have possibly, this is a $2,000 swing, and then you add the profit we would have made in Shopify. That's a $2,500 swing in total that we could have had in our account if we just stick to the plan. And I know hindsight, and when you're in the stock, it's hard to kind of stick to what I'm saying, because you are cutting your losses, and when you cut your losses, you're losing money. So you're losing money, you're admitting you're wrong. That's literally two of the worst things to do ever in life, and you have to do both of those at the same time. Very, very unfortunate, but if you get good at it and you get really, really precise at only losing 5%, 4%, you will go very, very far in consistently profiting in this game.